Young man rented a girlfriend to take home for the new year. When his father saw the beautiful woman, he warmly welcomed her into the house, but he felt that something was off. After all, his son was just a delivery driver with a monthly salary of $3,000, so it seemed unlikely that he would have such a beautiful girlfriend. Moreover, the girl's clothes were quite expensive. To test the future daughter-in-law's character, he brought out some buns and leftover food he had found in the trash. The girl looked at it with disgust but still forced herself to take a few bites. When the father wasn't looking, she immediately vomited. The father thought it was good enough that the girl didn't openly reject the food. So, the next day, he arranged for a chef from a 5-star hotel to prepare a feast for the girl. It turned out that the young man's father was the world's richest person. To train his son to become the heir to the family business, he deliberately concealed his identity and pretended to be a farmer, making his son think the family was poor and that he had to rely on delivering food to make a living. One day, the father called and asked his son to bring his girlfriend home for the new year. The son, having no other option, decided to post an ad to rent a girlfriend. By chance, he came across a neurotic girl in a dumpster. The girl volunteered to be his girlfriend. The young man, with disdain, lowered the rental fee to $100 per day. This made the girl very angry, but considering she was homeless and had no place to go, she reluctantly agreed to go home with him. To get back at him for being stingy, she used his credit card to buy some expensive clothes. When the young man saw how beautiful she looked after dressing up, he began to take a liking to her. He then asked the girl her name and where she was from. The girl froze. She had originally come from a wealthy family, but her parents wanted her to marry a rich second-generation heir to please the powerful, which she refused. So, she ran away from home, and now she could only tell the young man that she had no family. Meanwhile, the rich second-generation heir found out that the young man had brought his fiancée home for the new year. He was furious and immediately brought his bodyguards to the young man's house. On the other side, the young man told his rented girlfriend to make sure she didn't give herself away. The girl didn't disappoint him, and passed the father's character test. The next day, the chairman arranged for a 5-star hotel chef to prepare a meal for the girl. He intended to treat her well. Coincidentally, the heads of the 4 major families came to visit the chairman for the new year. The chairman happily introduced the girl to them. Upon hearing the girl's name, one of the rich men became suspicious, and thought she might be the fiancée his son was going to marry. But after thinking it over, he dismissed the thought as a coincidence. While they were eating, the rich heir had already arrived at the village. He ordered his subordinates to do whatever it took to bring the girl back. The girl became nervous when she saw they were sent by the rich heir. At that moment, the chairman and the heads of the 4 major families were already drunk. As they protected the girl, they were beaten up, and even the rich heir's father was knocked unconscious against the wall. Because his subordinates had failed to complete the task, the rich heir came in person. However, he had never seen the chairman or the other 3 family heads before. He even slapped the chairman in public, arrogantly stating that his father was the head of the 4 major families, and anyone who blocked him would be opposing his father. When the father heard that the rich heir was his son, he immediately stood in front of him. But the rich heir didn't believe that his father would be here, since he knew his father was visiting the world's richest person for the new year. So, he knocked his father to the ground. When he saw his father's face, he was stunned.